So I'm Christopher Carlton. I'm the Fire Chief of Whatcom County District 5, and we're here to celebrate the events that happened on June 7th. And the person that needs to be exposed right now, and the reason why we're all here, is Mr. Graham. Not sure who understands what went on, but Mr. Graham crossed over the border on his regular ride with a friend and went into cardiac arrest right as he crossed through U.S. Customs. And one of the first people that will be identified today as well is one of the agents over there, and that's Detlef. So for the better part of an hour, the paramedic on duty was Ben Boyko. Where's Ben? Ben Boyko and a team of responders from Whatcom County Sheriff's, CVP, Airlift Northwest, and Whatcom County Fire District 5 worked on Mr. Graham and was able to get his heart beating again through multiple defibrillations and multiple medications. Airlift transported down to St. Joseph's Hospital, where they continue treatment as well. So I'd like to acknowledge, for my part, within this presentation, the members of my organization, Whatcom County Fire District 5, that were part of that rescue that day. So if you would just raise your hand or step forwards. First person would be Captain Jerry Aguilar. Paramedic Ben Boyko.
Yes.
Captain Christian Craig. Firefighter Jeff Finley. EMT Ryan Green. Mark Bustelli. EMT Fadi Samaha. My right hand, Assistant Chief John Shields. EMT Christy Steinberger. EMT Christina Tersakian. Firefighter Scott Van Den Boogard. And Captain Kyle Whiteman, if he's here. My portion. It takes a team to save a life, and we have a lot of people to recognize today, and I'm going to pass the floor to Airlift Northwest.
My name's Benita and Peggy, and this is our pilot, Rick Raffin. I was the flight nurse on duty that day, and Rose Gore was the other flight nurse on duty. She couldn't be here today, though. She's sad about that, but you are amazing. I was telling his family that I have been a critical care, acute care nurse for 37 years, and I personally have never worked on a patient or seen a patient being worked on with CPR for over 45 minutes and turn out like this. Of the EMS providers here, the first person on scene that started that CPR, kept it going, and the fabulous CPR you guys did. I was so impressed with this, your EMS community here. It's amazing. It runs perfectly. we're just a little cog in that wheel, a link in that chain, and we're honored to be able to work with you. And thank you for having us on this call.
The next person I'd like to introduce is the representative from Whatcom County Sheriff's Office, who is also on this call.
McCarthy, also known as the new guy in Point Roberts, but I was here prior. When we first received this call, and many of you don't know how things work sometimes, because we have a kind of a varied schedule. I found out about this by Deputy Lorene, who was also president, president at the time, banging on my window saying, "Gotta go." And the initial call, because there was so much confusion, was that somebody had been run over by a car. So we just zoomed down there and then figured out that that was not the case. So what we did is we just tried to say, okay, now we got to make sure that nobody gets run over really while we're trying to develop these efforts. Because as you most know that live here in Point Roberts, traffic can be a little bit unnerving at times. So, but I have to say one thing. I was so impressed at the efforts being made by all involved, especially the EMTs, the medics and such, at just the effort that they put into keeping you alive. And I was just stunned. And then secondly, just the amount of interaction afterwards when it was all said and done of saying, what's Mr. Graham's status? How is he doing? What's going on? People were calling, I guess, the hospital often just to find out. We were just that curious because, as you know, sometimes we go to things where it's not a very good outcome. And we certainly enjoy it and we certainly love it when something really wonderful happens and we can all just be satisfied with having had some part of it. So, Mr. Graham. And again, the little that we did from the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office, we were just glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
The floor will go now to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, DFO Michelle James.
In Seattle. It's always a pleasure to come out to Point Roberts. I think the last time I was out here was with a forum like this was probably one of the town halls that we did. This outcome is much better, I'll tell you that. But it's always, I love coming out to Point Roberts because of the type of community that you are. And just you being here today to celebrate one of your community members, your family members' health, and how well you have come through this, and also to celebrate the heroes of the day. All those who responded to Mr. Graham is just absolutely incredible, and it just speaks to your community and all of the efforts here. So it's really my pleasure today to really talk a little bit about that interagency cooperation and the professionalism amongst all the departments. So as the chief had said, on the 7th, when Mr. Graham came through on his bike and fell down, we had Supervisor Goldner who immediately responded to that and started to render aid. And I also want to recognize some of the other officers that were there at the court. It really talks to all of the work that we train for every day in responding to some of those events that we don't expect to happen. We're not only there to protect the borders, but we're there to respond to your needs, and Mr. Graham in that case. So I do want to commend all of those who rendered aid, but I also want to commend the family and helping Mr. Graham through his situation and to become healthy again and back in the community as you are. Specifically for the officers within Customs and Border Protection, definitely want to recognize Officer Goldner. with us today too. We also operate as a big team, so there's several officers who could not be here with us today, namely Officer Tingley, Officer Carter, Officer Giles, Officer Glazier, Officer Proctor, and Officer Washburn. Great And I just have to say, I'm so glad to have you with us here today.
So I'm going to pass over the floor to Mr. Graham to make remarks.
In my wildest dreams, I never thought that I'd be here thanking so many for saving my life. It was a result of miracles. I mean, it was my idea to come to Point Roberts. Andy and I were training for the ride for cancer to Seattle. So I said Point Roberts was the place to be because we had a cottage here when I was a child. So this was my playground, and I've always loved it here. So this made sense to come down. So we parked our cars in Tawasin, drove up the hill, I went through the border, and basically I dropped. And you know, it's a miracle because I fell on the right side of the border. And I mean that seriously because Canada is wonderful, but we simply don't have the ambulance services my brother John, who's a paramedic, will attest to get to the border fast enough to save my life on that particular day. So I salute every one of you for the incredible job that you did pulling it all together. It's nothing short of a miracle. Was it a coincidence? It wasn't a coincidence. I asked myself that we were at the border, and I haven't been down here in years, but was it a coincidence on that day that I dropped there? Was it a coincidence that Border Protection Officer Detlef had just completed a refresher course in CPR, and his actions during the first 5 minutes saved my life? Was it a coincidence that Chief Carlton and the Point Roberts Volunteer Fire Department were training on that Sunday morning? I mean, how could that be on a Sunday morning? And that Ben Boyko, the paramedic, was there on that Sunday morning to take up where Detlef left off and keep me resuscitated and bring me back. As Detlef said, it wasn't just once that we had to go through this. They had to go through this exercise. So Detlef, there are simply no words that can express my gratitude to you for your heroic actions on that day. And Ben, I will be forever grateful to you for your unwavering commitment, your passion, and your determination to keep me alive. The organization in coordinating the airlift and the professionalism in transporting me to St. Joseph's Medical Center in Bellingham was nothing short than miraculous. The team at St. Joseph's was most exceptional ever, actually, of all the hospitals that I've been in the world and in Canada. They were unbelievable. Dr. Pete Beglin and Dr. Christy Smith headed a miracle team of doctors, nurses, and support staff that made life and death decisions on my behalf during the first few days. I have no words for them other than I'm obligated to go to St. Joseph's, which I will do, and thank each one of them personally. In addition, ironically, the support that they extended to my family during that stay, to my wife, Barbie, to my friends and beyond, you just can't imagine what they did. They went beyond the call of duty. And after I left St. Joseph's, they didn't lose touch. They continued to call to see how I was. My sincere appreciation to my friend Andy McLean, who joined me on that day and had to make that fateful drive back to Vancouver to tell my wife of my faith. And his message was not good because his life did not look like it was my opportunity for the future. So, Andy, I'm humbled by your courage and strength to make that trek.
Here, here.
To my wife, to my daughters, and my family, to be told on a few occasions that they need to prepare for the worst, that I simply, the odds of me making it were not in my favor, is something that is devastating and will haunt me forever, and I know it simply will stay in my wife's memory bank forever. In particular, I'd like to thank them for organizing the Caring Bridge website, allowing them daily updates regarding my progress to our family and our friends. I am overwhelmed with emotion for the some 4,500 responses to that website regarding my status. When I awoke following transportation from St. Joseph's to Vancouver General Hospital, Barbie advised me of the amazing number of family and friends, including staff at St. Joseph's, that had sent positive thoughts my way, and I responded for the first time in all those days. I know I have felt them all. So never, never underestimate the power of positive thinking and the potential magnitude of that power. In closing, I would like to say that it does take a team, and it takes a village, it takes a family. You are the miracle. You're the miracle makers. You're the ones that aren't always recognized, but you need to go forward knowing that you're the lifesavers, and your training and your actions, they make a difference. Make a difference in people's lives like mine and others. I'm privileged to have another day to celebrate this incredible life's journey with you. During this experience, someone clearly said to me, you have a job to do. Now go back and do it. And I'm back, and I'm prepared to do that job. To my friends and family, each of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I read the script. For all of you that don't know me, I'm acting board director at Longshore. I'm in Point Roberts for the last few months. I don't know how long I'll be there, but if I am and you guys ever need anything, you can call somebody else. Mr. Graham, glad you're here. Glad we could help out. I appreciate it. I'm glad all this support is amazing. So that's fantastic. I'd like to have Miss Susan Delveni come up here, please. She is the Congresswoman, 1st District. Ms. Delveni.
To be here in Point Roberts again, but also for this incredible occasion. And I just want to say that Jim and Alan, you and your families, or Andy, you and your families are always going to be an important part of the Point Roberts community going forward too. So welcome to your home, your other home. We don't say thank you enough for incredible work that's happened, and I think this is really an important occasion for us to say thank you, not only to the individuals, but also the incredible teamwork that happened. As the chief said, it takes a team working together to save a life. And you can have great people, but you were just great individuals. You also worked together and did an incredible job in a tough situation where time was of the essence. And really just want to say thank you to all of you for the incredible work that you did.
Yes.
Event, but I know every day you're doing work to help people in situations thank you for the work that all of you do every day as first responders in our region. It makes an incredible difference, and we're all happy to know that if we were in a terrible situation, that we're all there to help each other out, and that you're there as well. So thank you as well for that. So in honor of the incredible effort that everyone participated and the agencies that participated in this, we had flags flown over the Capitol of the United States in Washington, D.C. For each of the agencies, and also a statement that I submitted to the Congressional Record, which talks about the incredible cooperation and work that happened here, and talks about every single individual whose names have already been mentioned. And so we have a copy of the Congressional Record here as well. And so it's my honor to present to each agency and each team a copy of the Congressional Record, as well as a flag in honor of the great work that you did. And so let's start with folks from Whatcom County Fire District 5. I think all of you, if you come up here, would be great. Talking about the date and why it was flown in honor of the work you did. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you can applaud for them again. Somebody's got a camera out there. You can look all over. Thank you.
Okay, everybody off.
So you're going to have a heavy load to take back. Thank you. Here, thank you. You should stand on the and then Airlift Northwest. Obviously, last but not least, all the folks from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. And I'll give you, this is the certificate that goes in the wagon. There, I'll take one too. Thank you. for your heroic service. You did an incredible job. Thank you very much.
Everyone, I can't thank you enough for coming out and making this a very special day for Mr. Graham and for everybody that was involved as well. So my hat's off to all of you. Great job. And we look forward to many more days like this.
A lot of thanks flying around here, but there's one person we really need to thank, who's at the center of all this. He makes it all happen. He gets us trained. He insists on perfect skills. He insists on best quality, best practices. He reaches out to all the other organizations. He keeps us on our toes. Come on up, Chief.
This was the team lead that day. So.
As Chief said, my name is Ben Whatcom. I've been a partner of Chief Carlton for many years now, working on EMS calls. I do enjoy coming out and supporting this community as well, and I want to thank you guys for coming out here and supporting Mr. Graham. I do want to share one piece of information, but I think everybody kind of missed through this whole ordeal is that Chief Carlton was actually involved with that call. And I don't think anybody really realized. He was actually responding medic unit to that incident the minute we left. And he was on the radio requesting airlift and coordinating the resources. So I want to thank Chief Carlton for being there for us as well on the radio, supporting us here. Also, I don't know if a lot of you know how that weekend kind of got scheduled is. For whatever reason, I got a call from Chief Carlton just a couple of days prior to that, and he says, Ben, is there any way you can come down on that Sunday and provide coverage for me at Point Roberts? And so I agreed. And then the next day, actually on Saturday, the day before, he calls me again and he goes, is there any way you can be there early? So I don't know if this is a coincidence or if it's a miracle, but I don't know what he knew of what was going to happen here that day, but I think we have a prophet.
Hey everybody, mingle. There's a big helicopter outside that you can take pictures by.